They always try to be very progressive, and Tatra was an exception because they had the courage to actually start producing these cars in mass-produced numbers. Especially in the 30s, where there was an economic crisis in those days, but they still had the courage to continue producing these special designs. It became a sort of symbol of modernism, considered as design icons. So it's fantastic that it's progressed so much. A chap called Hans Ledwinka joined the firm, and he became the sort of main designer, and he stayed with them on and off till 1945, when he unfortunately was arrested by the communist authorities for collaboration during the war, because the company was taken over by the Germans during the Second World War and continued production, and he was accused unjustly by the communist authorities. So he went to prison for 6 years, but on his release he went to Austria and lived in Germany. But Ledwinka was very influential. It's still surprising, for example, that there are hundreds and thousands of books on Ferdinand Porsche. And on Hans Ledwinka, there are only 3 books at the moment in the Western world. There are 2 books in German and 1 book in English, which is our first edition. And I just find it quite fascinating that no one else has attempted to celebrate Hans Ledwinka, who deserves it enormously, because he belongs to the sort of famous group of designers like Benz, Porsche, Daimler, Maybach, and he's only been put there by our efforts to trying to put this English edition in print. And I think after such a long gap of 25 years, it's good to continue this effort and bringing Ledwinka to the attention of the new generations. In the 25-year gap between the first edition and the upcoming edition, lots has happened in general research about the company. It's much more sort of informative for the reader. We've added 6 very rare brochures into the book, which are sort of collector's items and normally not seen. Some of them are in German, some of them are in English, so they're quite rare. The bibliography has been updated, so it's almost a new book, really. It's so much different from the original edition. Since we had the first edition of the book published in 1990, I always wanted to have a Tatra car. I admired most the Tatra plant because it was the sort of most complete design from my point of view of enveloping body without the expressed fenders and very sort of sleek design. So I wanted always to purchase that model. Yeah, I'm trying to use the car as much as possible at various shows. I've been invited to the Salon Privé and other shows, and the car is getting prizes wherever it goes. Best of show, and Salon Privé, it won its class ahead of Norman Foster's Dimaxion. So I'm quite pleased that wherever the car is, it creates a bit of a stir, which I think the company deserves because it's so little known abroad.